Hello? Okay, I think this is working. Hopefully it is. Okay, thank you and welcome for joining me today on the Balance Trader. It's not as much time as I would have liked, but the reason I think today is special because I just want to show you a little bit how I put together some profiles for today's session. I did a monthly analysis, but this was a bit short-sighted of me. Over the weekend, I didn't expect for there to be such a big gap to the opening today. So I didn't, well, I guess I failed to prepare. But anyway, I've done it now. So all the updated charts are in the journal, the weekend journal, and I've also put them in the journal for today. So that journal today will be updated in real time as much as I possibly can whilst I'm trading, if I am trading. There'll be days when I won't be trading, but in the journal that you've visited, if you have visited, if you haven't, I think the link's below in the YouTube stream. Please click on it. It'll be maybe useful for reference at some point. And if you are learning how to use profiles, use it as a guide. Okay. All opinions, all trade ideas are my own. I'm just doing this for the benefit to try and help you along the way to making better trading decisions. I don't make the best trading decisions. I make so many mistakes. Sometimes I don't get on trade. Sometimes I stop out. So, you know, I'm no expert. I'm a student of the markets and Jim Dalton. And yeah, but together we'll get through this. So let's quickly just analyze what's happened overnight. This was the close. If you can see what we're looking at now. Yeah, let me just check what you guys are looking at. Ah, there you go. I can see myself. Hi, Mum. So yeah, we have this. We have this is the profile chart, guys. The 1 day profile charts, and this is the overnight session. I'm only displaying the overnight session for the purpose of this. I'm looking at on the right hand side, the far right hand side. This is the overnight multi distribution as we are at this very minute. As you can see, we had this big P profile. Okay, it's quite clear. If you look at my charts, I've tried to highlight that, so it's a really good idea if you guys can pick up and understand what type of day types we're rolling into, where we're coming from, and also yeah, sometimes we can't sort of, it's sometimes a bit tricky to define them, but the key ones are P's and B's, normal variation. There's a few of them. Please have a look at the links in my notes for you guys to just go through them. There's quite a few. I'm not going to go through them all now, but here we have, we're leading in from a B profile. And what that B profile shows us is that we have a liquidation, and the auction can't get out of its base. And what we saw on Friday into the close, we saw that it closed very heavy indeed. I'm trying to find up some slides for you guys that I've so it saves me having to sort of scrunch through charts and stuff. So okay, the chart that I'm referring to that I can't find, because I think this is not updated. Okay, let me see if I can bring it up here. I'm gonna get all flustered now because I'm making a mistake. This is my first time I've had an audience, so thank you guys for watching me. Okay, here it is. This is the close. Okay, so what we're seeing is that B profile I just brought up there that we were looking at. And here it is again. This B profile from Friday's session, this was the close going into it, right? And it's really important to try to sort of understand what's happening into the close. Into the close, we had this continuation of sellers just selling and basically finding a bottom, and there was somebody there who was soaking it all up. And we briefly broke the 3900 level just by a few ticks, just onto the close, this big bubble here onto the close. So some desperation to sell, but there was somebody there to, somebody had to sell into the close, but somebody was there to soak it up, and we didn't really get anywhere. What we had there, as you can see from the profiles, we have a bit of an unfinished auction. So when you have an unfinished auction, especially one that's as strong as this, that's been, obviously we've been gapping down, we've been failing to lift. We've got a very strong trend, and we're finding ourselves at the bottom of this B distribution. Now, somewhere along these bottoms from the from Friday's profile, we're going to find stops. Now, these stops, might be triggered. But what tends to happen is if one gets triggered, it tends to set up a cascading effect, especially if we're moving emotionally away from prior ranges. And that's kind of what happened overnight. We opened with a big gap. This was the gap on the overnight. I've got my chart. Hopefully I can bring it up for you guys. This is all in my notes, guys. I'm trying to explain it to you as best as I possibly can. Let me know if I can clarify things in the chat or whatever. So this was in my chart here, I've also included some prior references from the auction from the 20th of the 5th, which is where we're sort of located now, going into the open. So that's why I'm just putting that there for you guys to reference. But we open here, this was the gap. We had no attempt whatsoever to push away or push back to the prior close on the open. And then what you're seeing here, you see, that is an opportunity, guys. That there is an opportunity. That little push back up there, that is a reference. The open is a reference. The push back up, failing to break it, failing to get in and above that little level there, that is an opportunity to get involved in this trade. Now, if it starts moving above that, well, then that's, you've got probably an opportunity to close the gap. But in this case, we didn't close the gap. We pushed right up, but we didn't fail to take out the open little tick. I think it was 88, 89. So we failed to take that out, and then we just pushed lower. And that again acts as a reference on this little pullback here. And then we just start trending lower. And there's not really much else to say other than that. We just had a very strong trend lower. We weren't respecting any prior levels on this move down, which tells to me that there's just like a slow liquidation, which just needs to get done. People need to get this off their books. Whatever it is, they need to get this business done. They don't care too much about where. They just want to get out, okay? And that's very emotional, okay? And it's good to be aware of these emotional days, price action. How long we've got? Okay, so going into the open, we've got this emotion open, and let's just leave it like that. So, to be honest, somebody messaged me this morning, and they said to me, so where do you expect to find support? And I said, I don't know. I mean, when you've got an open like this, an overnight open, you've got such a big move, okay? It's really, really hard to say that, that's the bottom. Don't do that, okay? This is just not how auction theory works, okay? We want to let the auction tell us when it's over. And at the moment, it's definitely not telling us it's over. I'm not looking for any sort of long-term longs. There might be scalps. I'm open to scalps, but I'm not interested in looking for longs, okay? This is how I lost a lot of money trying to be a discretionary trader when I started, is trying to pick tops and bottoms. I have no idea. And on days when we've got such an emotional move, and we're following on from ECB, CPI, and then today we've got this huge gap, then we need to respect that and just be patient, okay? We're not looking to be heroes. I hope this mic's working, if anyone can tell me. Okay, so I think that was all I wanted to say about the open and how it's evolved. And we've moved significantly lower from this chart. We're down to the Bullard lows. I call them the Bullard lows because those were the lows on the auction of the 20th of May. And in late session, Bullard comes along and says that they may change course if inflation settles into next year. Now that was a bit of a surprise to the market because we all know that Bullard's a bit of a hawk, and then we pushed up higher, and then this was the reversal, okay? So Bullard got long somewhere down here, he comes out with a comment, and then it just rallies on up for days, and then we entered up into a prior balance. So that's why I referenced that as the Bullard low. Okay, that number there, 3809, is very, very important to me. It's a non-excess low. Pay attention to it going into this open. It's going to be important. It's going to be important. We're just trading 5 points below. We've traded as low as 3802, I think. No, sorry, 3798. I've not been paying too much attention. I've been too busy drawing squiggles on charts for you guys. Okay, so what else is there to say? Okay, so what did I do? How did I, how do I prepare for such a day where we've gapped so far away from my prior references that I'm just unaware of, or I don't feel very comfortable? Well, I need to familiarize myself with historical areas that we've had activity. So I want to look at the auction and where it took place on a historical chart, and I want to look at high time frames. So what I did is I scrunched up. Let me bring this up. I hope this is clear. Okay, so what I did is I went back, and these are monthly profiles because I need to look at high time frames. I'm looking for references. You can see that the short time frame references overnight were not respected in any way. I need to find something solid to sort of base my game around. Okay, so that's basically the where the short-term auction is showing, what the short-term auction is showing me, but also I need to just have a look at where historical battles being fought and won. And so what I did was I looked for a prior area of acceptance balance, and it was this little area that I spotted from the end of December 2020 from December 2020 to the end of March 2021. So it's really going back. I have no idea. I can't remember what was going on then. I know it was post vaccine, and then we were starting to move high aggressively with all the stimulus that was kicking on as well. And it was post just when what's his name, Biden got in as well, and that's when the stimulus was kicking in. But anyway, these are the levels that I've kind of picked. So if you have a look at where I've put all these little numbers that might not mean anything to you, but they mean a lot to me, they are all references to this period of the auction. Okay, I am looking for references, and so we've got the VPOC at 3856. There it is. We've got the prior high, we've got the prior lows, these little high nodes, low value areas, low volume nodes. They are all referenced in this on this diagram. And it's it looks a bit messy, but the way that we've been moving 2% a day for the last few days. So I need to be aware of the bigger picture. My higher time frame target, and I should have put a little green sticker on this one here. My higher time frame targets at the moment are 3642, 3652, somewhere around here, which coincides with this little area here. So what I'm looking for is just basically we're just slicing through this auction, this prior auctioned area, and we are slicing down and we're looking for references where we might find buyers, where we might find two-way activity. Now, where we're going to find two-way activity, we're going to find two-way activity where we've previously found it. So, that's where we can expect it. So I'm expecting there to be some reaction off these areas. I don't know, it might not happen, but I'm just using it as a guide, okay? And I'm not trying to pick bottoms here. I'm just looking at areas where I can look for potentially to start looking for areas, shorter time frame clues to start structuring trades, okay? So this is a monumental open, okay? Really, really important to understand, like we had yesterday on the Sunday open, reopen, like we had a gap. We have a similar scenario this morning. So we've got two gaps in a row, one for the overnight session and one into the US session. We've got a scenario where we're going to have a big gap. We need to see a reaction from buyers, okay? Well, we don't need to see anything, actually. We're going to observe to see what happens on the open. If buyers don't turn up early off on the open, to me that signals even greater weakness. Imagine you're going to a supermarket and you see a great deal for, I don't know, whatever, toilet paper, COVID-induced panic buying or selling in this case, okay? And the price of toilet paper is X amount, and if you all of a sudden find the price is half price or whatever, if it's good value, if it represents good value, you're going to see that toilet paper fly off the shelf. Okay, so think of it in that way. We're running an auction, and if the price is good, if we've got, if this is a good area to start looking for a reversal or a slowing down of this sell-off, then you want to see some signs that there is value that can potentially be established here, where we are now, or it might move to other reference points along the prior auction references. So we really want to see a reaction off the open, and it's really something that I spot, try to spot off the open, and it's important to how I plan for the rest of the day. Okay, if I see a reaction, if I see if I see impulsive behavior, if I see gaps, if I see really aggressive buying, then that will sort of trigger me to start thinking, okay, do you know what? This might have gone too far. I might be looking for a long here. Now, if I don't see that, if I see it's a grind, open auction, indecision, then I will probably be looking for the opposite to trade. I'm looking to go short. So I'm looking for impulsive action off the open to trigger the idea that there may be a long trade or a close the gap trade, okay? Because there's no guarantees that gaps will close, okay? And if there isn't that kind of impulsive behavior, if we just hang around there on the open or push even lower, then I'm just going to be looking for shorts. I hope that makes sense to you guys. Like, to me, logically, that makes perfectly good sense. So these are the reference points that I'll be looking at. 3787 is the most immediate one, 3750, 3706. So these are the areas that I'll be looking to take trades and target if we go lower. And obviously we could start moving back. Now, where am I looking at trades if we start moving back? I'm going to use the overnight auction as a reference point. Okay, now on my debrief and today's plan, Let me just quickly show you. In my debrief that you will find on the website, you will see that I've included this chart here, and I'm going to use that for my reference points. Off the open, it's going to be really important to use this. Okay, I've mapped out the overnight auction. Okay, there's the open, there's the gap. Okay, I don't need to keep shouting about that. But what we can see is just that we've got this multi-distributional trend move lower. So we had a move, a gap lower, open, drive. We spent a little bit of time here, formed a little mini B profile. You can see that on the TPO chart, looks great. Then we had this slightly more bulbous normal distribution. But then it broke to the downside, and then we formed, I can't really see that at the moment, but basically this low distribution. We've done a lot of volume at the bottom, so I think we've got a poor low on this overnight low. There could be further stops below 37.98. Okay, so my reference points on the open are 37.98, given the fact that we're opening only 6-7 points below. If we break that, we might even go, you know, we might see something very, very ugly. I want to see a reaction. If I see a reaction off the open, where's the first place I'm looking for some kind of support or resistance? It will be in this reference point here. Okay, 23s. Okay, these are all short-term references that I'm looking to try to start understanding what this wants to do as early as possible. So these are areas I'm looking for clues. I already, let me just get my, we have seen an attempt to breach up into that 23, and it was rejected. Let me quickly show you, because this is the kind of thing that I'm looking for off the open. Okay, hang on, I'll get you this chart. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. Sorry, okay. Okay, this is the area that I'm looking at, 23. Look what happened. We come up, we push, and then we aggressively move back down again. That to me is the ideal entry area. That to me is the kind of trades I'm looking to take. That to me signifies that this is not ready to move higher. Okay, that gave me a clue. We came back again. This is, by the way, this is the overnight session. This is about an hour and a half ago. Yeah, about an hour and 10 minutes ago. So we pushed up into the area that I was looking for, which was the upper range of this lower distribution. These little green lines I've put in, and it's also marked out by the singles marker. That is the area that I'm looking for now to break. I think I mentioned before that going into the opens, I like to look at where the most immediate swing highs and lows are. And in this case, it's the lows of the day, 37.98, whatever it is down here. And this area here, these 22s, 23s. Okay, I want to see those areas attacked. Okay, if the area downside is attacked and breached and there's no support there, I know where I'm going. I'm going lower. But also I want to be careful. Okay, we're trading balance here. Okay, and when we're in balance, there is a habit of sometimes breaking out of balance. So we've got a bit of an overnight balance down here. Okay, and on the open, I want to see what happens to that area. Now, what I want to be really careful of going short at these lows is everyone goes short, everyone gets too short, and then we get big squeeze. Now, I am very careful about taking a continuation trade off the open. I know that, that sounds silly, but I'm really going to be holding back this open, okay? There's no, I'm going to take the hero trade here. I'm going to be very, very, very cautious. It might seem that there's opportunity. We've got a huge gap. There could be a 100-point move to the upside if we start closing that gap. Okay, we could have a 100-tick move to the downside, 100-point move down to the downside. But I'm looking for opportunity. I'm not looking to trade the highs and the lows. I'm looking to trade somewhere in the middle. That's something that's being taught to me by lots of people. Don't be a hero. Look for more information. If we break lower, okay, but then come back to test this area and it's a weak test, that's your opportunity, okay? If you take the trade quickly and you go with the crowd and then the crowd start coming back on you, you might regret it because the crowd's probably quicker than you, especially in the decision making. If you're under pressure, you want to be taking things calm, cool decisions. So in this case, we want to see you know, potentially a break below these lows for a trade shorter, a retest, okay, a weak retest at that, you know, it has to show me there's some kind of, you know, unwillingness to take the price above here, okay, and then I'll take the short. On the upside, I want to see now here we might not see it ever come back. You know, if shorts decide to get, you know, if shorts get squeezed, you know, you've got to start thinking, where are these guys going to start getting short, you know, getting triggered? And I'm going to look at the overnight profile, and there's a bit of a B profile, and I'm going to sort of reference the mid of that profile. Now, I can't think, I don't think you can see where that midpoint is. Okay, I don't think you can see, but it's somewhere around the 36 area. Can you see that little yellow line? That's the auction. Oh, sorry, not that yellow line. This little yellow line here. You can barely see it. Let me see if I can just show it to you. That is the mid of the auction. Okay, so roughly where that white line is. Okay, that is the middle of the auction. Okay, this is a big distribution. I need to pick a point where I think, okay, this inventory or these positions might start thinking, we're going to get squeezed, and it's going to be somewhere in the middle, okay, which is around 36, here 41. Somewhere in the middle of this distribution here is where I'll start thinking, do you know what? I might be thinking for a trade to the upside. But up until that point, I'm going to maintain my you know, neutral dash short bias. I have a short bias because we are one time framing down. Okay, so I'm looking for that trade. I need to put this down in my notes for you guys because I haven't managed to do it. I've just been so busy. But basically, what I'm really looking for is signs that this auction is going to continue or not. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. I want to see this, you know, if we break through these lows, I want to see a weak retest. I'm not looking to take the hero trade. And if we start breaking above these 23s, okay, that's where I'm starting to think, okay, well, maybe there's some change here. But that change for me only happens once we hit above 38.78. Okay, here might be a good opportunity for a gap close. I don't know if that's going to happen, but it might do. Just need to be prepared for it. Okay, now if this happens, you know, I'll be trying to update people in you know, in the stream and on the blog, and yeah, I'll even try doing Twitter, but at the moment I'm just doing a bit too much and I need to find a happy medium. I'm going to step away. I think I've spoken too much, but what I really wanted to show you, what the key takeaway for today was, I just want to show you where I got all these high time frame references in my notes. So I'm just going back on myself here, sorry guys, but I just want to make this really clear. Here we go. I want to show you that, you know, I went back and I merged these profiles together, okay? The ones from December to the end of March, and that helped me get my references for today's trading, okay? So my big reference, big targets today are 38.56. Okay, why is that? Well, that's because it's the VPOT from that prior session. These prior sessions amalgamated. It's also on this composite profile on the right-hand side. Other references, I think we've seen slightly on the short term profile I just showed you. But I'm looking, basically the areas I'm looking to sort of start looking for clues are the lows and 23s. Okay, if we break above 23s, I want to see the mid breached. If the mid's breached, and so on, we might develop a trend. I don't know. Okay, it might be aggressive. I need to see how the price action is off the open before I make more decisions. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to walk away, have a little mental clear out because I think everything's going off. And I'm going to confuse myself. So I think a good idea is just to go and step back into the open and just close your eyes for a little bit and just just go over everything that I've just said in my case, or your plan and what you're thinking going into this. But my real plan, okay, is I don't want to be taking any hero trades today. Okay, we've got this big gap. There's one of three things can happen: open continuation, open rejection, okay, open and we consolidate and acceptance. Okay, those are the three things that might happen. Okay, and I want to, I'm going to use volume. Okay, I'm going to use volume to give me an idea about what's going on. I'm going to use the profile, the shape, and the extensions and the rotations. Okay, these are all the things that I'll be looking at in the open. I'll be trying to call them out. I'll do my best. Okay, I will do my best. Any questions, please let me know. Okay. All right. This is my first one in front of an audience, and thank you for watching. I know that maybe I've gone over things. It wasn't that concise. Again, I'm rushed for time. I need to find a way to manage my time better. At the moment, I'm struggling with putting the scribbles on the charts for you guys. It's taking me hours where I normally do things, in a notepad. This is, I always write things shorthand, and for the purpose of educating people, I'm trying to do it on the blog and on the chart. And also getting my levels on the charts is also taking me a lot of time because it's it's all done by hand. Okay, somebody asked me over the weekend, what software do you use? Well, actually, I'm doing it all by hand. If anyone has any cool ideas about how I can speed this up, I'd appreciate it. I'll give you an hour free, one-to-one session if you can help me out. If I find your information useful, I'd really, really appreciate it, because at the moment, I just, I'm overwhelmed with the, the difficulty in making these charts look nice for you guys. Okay, anyway, that's it for now. Someone's phoning me. Who is it? Spam. All right, go away, spam. All right, see you guys. I'll catch you in the open. Okay, I should be there for the open. Okay, good luck.